Hello, this is Cho of the Shiny Colors Discord. Welcome to a video covering the newest banner type in Shiny Colors, ParaColle Collection. Periodically, I'll be referring to this as ParaColle or PC, much like how we do with My Songs Collection, which is MyColle, MSC, or Twilight's Collection, TwiColle TC. So what's the deal? ParaColle Collection is a new banner type that represents a what-if future, taking the idols we know and giving us a brief glimpse as to a possible timeline if things play out a certain way. Both our example cards represent a 3-year time skip, with one attending university while the other advances in their career. Functionally, this banner is similar to Twilight's Collection in execution, yet is meant to be a replacement to My Songs Collection. They're very easy to tell apart compared to other SSRs because of their thin and vibrant purple border. Based on the wording within the announcement of ParaColle, each card only represents one possible timeline, implying that we will see future ParaColle for repeat characters that could have an entirely different aesthetic and timeline compared to a previous version of themselves. The stories contained in these cards are brief glimpses into those futures, with flashbacks to the present to see what may have led us to this time. Just like TwiColle, ParaColle banners uses the standard SSR rate for limited cards, meaning a 5% SSR rate total, 2% for PSSR, and a 0.5% for featured. Now, just like Twilight's Collection, ParaColle SSRs have a unique passive at 4 stars which is limited to activating once per turn. I still don't know why this is necessary for the produced cards, but it is what it is. They do not have a TwiColle passive, meaning that there is not something that they can pass on through a know-how book that is unique to them. So, you don't have to worry about that too much. Our example here is Amana's 4-star passive, which is a vocal 180% buff if you healed 5 or more times and have a memory appeal in your skill history. This will be important as we get into the next detail here, which is the unique trait of ParaColle, which is the charge appeal, highlighted here in the purple box. It enhances your center's memory gauge in a couple of ways. Your center's memory gauge maximum will be increased from 100% to 200%, which you can see with the Amana below. When the gauge reaches 200%, the charge appeal will be added to their memory appeal's attack. Charge appeal is applied even if the ParaColle unit is not the center. And importantly, the charge appeal is only applied to centers in the same unit as the ParaColle idol. So if you're using, say, Tenka or Chiyuki as your center while using ParaColle Amana, you will have access to Amana's effect even if Amana is not the center. You'll also see that there are upgraded versions of this alongside her memory appeal, which we'll get into now with the second bit here, which are the extra rules and stipulations with the charge appeal. The level of the charge appeal is tied to both the ParaColle idol's memory level and their current uncapped status. This means that a 0-star ParaColle only has access to the level 1 version of their charge appeal, while a 4-star will be able to access up to their level 5 depending on their memory level. The amount of memory gauge needed to charge appeal is affected by the number of ParaColle cards of the same unit on your team. This reduces by 10% for each additional ParaColle card, up to a 40% reduction at max. Lastly, if you have multiple ParaColle idols on the same unit on your team, you only gain one of those charge appeals, determined by their position in FES. The highest priority will be the center, followed by the leader, then vocal, dance, and visual in that order. So if you have, say, a ParaColle unit as your leader and a ParaColle unit on visual, and do not have a ParaColle unit as your center, then it means it will take the leader's charge appeal when considering your memory appeal. Much like with Twilight's Collection, ParaColle Collection has its own idol piece system to substitute as duplicate copies. This means that until a PC Hazuki is created, which given TC got a Hazuki about a year later means we can expect her in 2025 probably, you only have 2 ways to upgrade your ParaColle cards as you go. Either pulling additional copies in the gacha, or buying the pieces in the shop. The shop has 2 separate packages, meaning that if you have a 0-star card, you'll be at least able to upgrade them to 2 stars without pulling extra copies. As of the time of this recording, ParaColle units do not give out unique pieces when your duplicates are sold. However, they will be implemented at a later date, as mentioned in the news. So do not sell your duplicate ParaColle cards if you happen to go over 4 stars. Hold on to them until the update happens where you're able to sell them for the new pieces. Just like previous idle pieces, your first 20 will cost the same amount, and then it'll double up for 30 and 40. So, make sure to pull wisely when deciding to upgrade your characters. And that more or less covers all the details we know about Parallel Collection. Personally speaking, I'm not super looking forward to this, as I'm afraid this is going to make scoring in Grade Fest even harder, and it's going to make some of these stronger teams even stronger if they're able to get a ParaColle card that they can easily abuse. I think the system is a little ugly next to Twicolle, as it means that the power of your Feather Jewels is going to become weaker and weaker over time, as have Hazuki. Hazuki is becoming less valuable as some of the more important cards do not use Hazuki, and so I'm just not very sold on this whole idea. But we'll have to see how it all pans out. Especially because this is replacing my Colle, there's a chance that this banner type could be coming back every month to month and a half, which means that your Feather Jewel reserves will be dipping out real quick if you're not careful. So, let's just see how everything goes. If you have any other questions or details about ParaColle, feel free to leave them in the comments. Till the next video, I've been Cho, thank you for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day.